Yeah. Yeah, I'm awake. All right. Welcome, everyone. Trying a different setup here. Yes, I am in the RV, but also I'm on StreamYard on my computer. So make sure I can see you or so you can see me and hear me. All right. If you hear the air conditioner really loud, I'll turn it off, but I don't think you will be able to. Sound okay? Look okay? We're here and see you. Okay, good. All right. Loud and clear all the way from Canada. Awesome. All right, guys, welcome to the channel. I got to figure out where I got to look now. Um, Thank you again for everything you all do to help the cause of bringing lost loved ones home. I do have a special guest tonight. Y'all know him. We finally got everything figured out. I didn't like the whole YouTube share vertical live stream, so we're going to try this out. Hopefully my internet connection is good. I'm going to bring on Eric from Ryder Dive. If you guys haven't checked him out, his name's going to be on the bottom. Check it out. You look serious. I'm sorry. That's just my face. When I think a lot, I look serious. I got a lot of things on my mind. My face does some stupid things. So with all that being said, let me bring on Ryder Dive, and we will start getting everything talking and getting everything going. Thank you, Sue Klein, for dropping all those links. Everybody, those links there. ChaosDivers. I don't know if I can show. Can I show that? Oh, look at that. Oh, Jacob learned how to do StreamYard. The PayPal, friends, family, all that stuff right there. Check it out, guys, please. It is a way to support the channel and what it is that we're doing. So with that being said, let's get Eric on here.
Hey, Jacob. I think so. I can hear you.
I can hear you. All right. We are rocking and rolling. We actually look a little, well, maybe not professional, but
That's pushing it.
we're doing a lot better than what we did. As everyone knows, this is Ryder Dive. This is Eric. This is Lindsay's husband. I about said wife. Sorry.
I see how it is, Jacob. Hey,
Two,
Jacob, how about an update on your father?
he's doing okay. There for a while, he gave us a big scare. I think honestly, it was all of the switching locations, the medicine, everything. He wasn't getting the certain things that he was used to. I think everything combined, he got super confused, didn't know what was going on. The tests weren't coming back. He is cancer free. He's never had cancer, and all of the results came back cancer free. But he does have cirrhosis of the liver. So with that being said, we're taking actions on that and seeing what different different things we can do to make him comfortable, and see if there's actually any way that one of my brother or I or my other brother or someone can help and maybe donate a part of their liver to see if we can, extend his life a lot longer. So that's the update on Dad. Right now, he's just laying in bed. I told you guys there'd be transparency. I'm not holding anything back. Um, I want to be as truthful as to everybody as I can. So thank you for asking.
All right, sorry for putting you on the spot. They were asking in chat, so I figured I'd just voice it for you.
You're good. You're good. He's doing okay though. He's actually back into talking normally and not being so confused. So that was a lot to take in for a short period of time. So yeah, we've had a long 2 weeks. Now the reason why you don't see Lindsay here is she has Bug, which is Lily, her niece. She's got a volleyball game. She's going to be here in about 30 minutes to an hour. So this will be a longer live stream. But I wanted to get Eric on here and talk about, our search also for Belva. Belva's been found. It has been verified that it was her indeed. Let's talk about where she was found, Eric. I'll let you do that portion of it. And again, this is Ryder Dive. He was the diver on Belva's case. So you've seen it in the videos, and then in a couple days, I'll have the rest of the video out for the public to see what portion we did on the search. So there you go.
All right, so she was found in, I believe it was Jacksonville, Arkansas, which is a suburb of Little Rock. She was found, I guess, in the woods on a military base. I'm not sure which branch it was, but it was on a military base.
Air Force Base.
Air Force Base.
Yep.
When I found, I'll just give you my response. When I first heard when Lindsay texted me and said that Miss Belva was found, my immediate question within seconds was where, because I was curious. This case had gotten our attention, and then we were kind of searching a different path from everybody else. Law enforcement and a lot of the search teams were focused on up north where her home was. And we were kind of following the cameras, and based on where the cameras went, we had gone all the way down through Bald Knob into Searcy, Arkansas, with as far as we made it before we ran out of time. And we kind of ran out of clues or a direction to go at that date. Turns out the road we were on, another 30-ish miles or so, is about where the Air Force Base is in Jacksonville, Arkansas. So we were following the path. We ran out of time, and time and clues, really. I mean, we had a lot of debate that last day on where to go next. Once we got to Searcy, there's a lot of roads there. We could have gone a lot of different directions, so we didn't really know where to go next.
It basically spidered off. Like, you can go on 3 different interstates, or you can start taking back roads. And unfortunately, she was found, not in the way we wanted to. With Eric diving the first day, you guys seen there was quite a bit of things that went beautiful, but then he did have a little bit of what we call a free flow. It's actually quite common, and Eric and I can describe it a little bit and go into detail about that. I do want you guys to know, again, this will be a little bit longer. If you guys want to talk and stuff, we're going to try to answer as many questions as we can. This is going to be just a chit chat type deal. So with that being said, Eric, what about your dive when you were when we first found the car? What was you thinking?
Wow, this current's strong. That was my first thought. And then go through the process of getting suited up. I took a little bit of extra weight than I normally would, because I knew fighting the current, I wanted to be able to get down a little bit faster. So I think I would normally dive about 26 pounds of weight when we're diving dry like that. I think I had 30 pounds on me.
Whatever it was, your equipment was super heavy getting it out of the water.
Well, there was 30 pounds of lead in it. So as you guys saw in the video, when I got to the buoy, the current was pulling. I didn't have a chance to do the normal, like, sit there, get situated, love you, bye. It was pretty much, okay, I'm here, gotta go, gotta start kicking before the current takes me away. So I just started kicking as hard as I could and going down. And I think you heard it on the video too. Jacob even said you could see me moving, and you could see the buoy go down and come back up, go down and come back up. I was literally pulling myself on the rope with the magnet and kicking as hard as I could just to try to get down to the car. So it was a lot more current, and it felt like every foot I went deeper, the current got just a little bit stronger. That was strong. So at one point, I think I tried to I was probably Yeah, probably about 2/3 of the way to the car. I just held on for a minute and stopped kicking for a second because
You
oh,
got
I'm
to take
getting
a
a
breath.
message from Lindsay. Belva, I'll read that in a minute. Um,
She's going to tell you because it's something that somebody has said quite often that the Air Force Base is called something, but it wasn't in Jacksonville. I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
okay, so Belva was crashed onto a remote backside of the base in a ravine. She did not enter through the gates.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to talk about. Yeah,
So about 2/3 of the way down, I literally just took a 10-second breather to one, I was breathing pretty heavily, which contributes to a free flow. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But I could hear a little bit of air leaking from one of my hoses on my left side. And that wasn't just the free flow. There's just a little, they're rubber hoses. They're what, 3 years old now. So it might be time to just start replacing them all. There's probably just a pinhole leak in one of them,
that or a
but
little bit of dirt.
or a little bit of dirt, could be
Just
just about anything.
just need a
That
re-
wasn't freaking me out, but the hardest part is that it was 44-degree water, and when you're in a dry suit, the only way that you can stay warm is you use the air in between your body and the suit to act as a buffer so you don't get that cold water right against the suit, right against your skin. Well, in order to do the air in the suit, you got to push a button right in the middle. Well, I'm pulling for all I can on the rope. I didn't feel comfortable to let a hand off and push the button. So I went down without filling up the dry suit. Now it's still much warmer than dry diving in a wetsuit. Um, but I finally got myself down to the car. Uh, I got to the back side of the car, swam over the top to the front of the side the magnet was on, because first thing there is try to figure out where the magnet is. And it was obviously on there tight. So get it in a position where if we need to, we can pull the magnet off the car later.
yeah, because I've lost 4 magnets that way.
And as I'm doing that, I can see that the car has a reddish tint. I can't tell you the make or model of the car, but I can tell it's a reddish tint. I get to the front of the car, I get the magnet loose. It was kind of wedged underneath the door, like the bottom and the, the ground, and the car and stuck on the bottom. So I pulled that free, attached it to the door, and then I'm starting to get my bearings, and that's when my regulator started to free flow a little bit. So I made the decision at that point that I know it's a reddish car. I'm looking for a beige car. Two, this car has been in the water for quite a while, not just 2 weeks. Uh, Something was going on. I knew it was a free flow. I knew I was leaking a little bit of air. I didn't know exactly where, but I just said, okay, I'm breathing heavy. I'm coming up. And then I came up. It felt like it took forever for me to come up on that trip. And then as I got to the surface, I was hitting the wrong button on accident in my suit. So you could hear Jacob say he's looking distressed. I wasn't distressed, but I was kicking with everything I had to keep my head above the water while I found the right button to inflate my BCD so I could float. So then I finally was able to float, and then the rest you could see on the video. Um, that was that was a tough dive. That was hard.
No, did you not see the emote?
No, I saw it.
Okay,
Um,
it's not working now,
so-
but yeah. So with all of that, and Eric diving, so in the video you see me say he's on his own. He's going to have to grab this. Hold on, what is all that stuff? Well, I don't know why she's adding everybody. Oh, she's saying hello to everybody. Okay. Um, with all that being said, I couldn't get to Eric. What we were going to do is we were going to drop him off, and then he was going to grab a hold of the side of the boat, and I was going to control him. But as soon as I dropped him off, he was gone. And I'm like, well, that didn't work out as planned. So I'm like, you're on your own. Like, grab a hold of the buoy because I can't get to you without hitting the buoy myself. So kind of how he ended up on his own on that one.
oh, so free flow. What the free flow is in the regulator. It's just a diaphragm. So it just controls the air based on when you breathe in and out. And there's a couple of different stages of knocking the pressure down, so you're not getting the 3,000 pounds to your mouth that's in the cylinder. So especially when you're in cold water like that and you're breathing really heavily, which I was, you can actually form little ice crystals sometimes around the edges of the diaphragm. So what that does is it causes a constant free flow of air through your regulator into your mouth, and then it just gets ejected out the ejection port on the regulator. But because of the cold temperature, the current, and the amount of effort I was having to put in to get down, I was breathing very heavily, and my breathing caused that free flow to occur.
I have spoke about this. I think I spoke about it the last live stream that we had together. I have free flowed 3 times since I've been a diver, mainly more in the depths because it's super cold. In Eric's situation, the super cold was on top. Like he was already in 44-degree water. So he already had everything fighting against him. And especially when he started breathing harder, which I don't blame him, uh, I would have done the same thing. That's a lot of current. And, first of all, you're brave enough to do the water, do the mission at hand. So right there is already stress. And then you're starting to get ready. So you're already out of breath because I hate getting ready. And then you got to fight the current. So there's a lot of things that have went on, and I don't fault Eric at all. Nothing happened. He knew what to expect whenever he had the free flow, and he knew how to compensate for that. So he was safe, but yet it is still a scary feeling. There is a question: are generic Visa cards or Amazon gift cards better? I'm going to tell you that the Visa gift cards are going to be a lot better due to the fact that we just need gas now, like gas to get to these places, and I can use those the Visa gift cards for gas. So thank you for that question, Carrie. Go ahead, Eric.
So yeah, like Jacob was saying, I never freaked out. I got down there. You got to keep your head about you no matter what when you're doing these dives. There's too much going on to start freaking out. So that was where, instead of continuing to completely clear the car as our normal procedure would be, when we knew it wasn't the car and I couldn't hang on, I was essentially holding the rope in one hand and the car in the other and still getting pulled off of it. It's time to come up. So that that's the one thing we know as a diver: safety is always up at the surface. So
Do you see the bottom of that screen where I'm putting names up and all the questions and stuff? Is that
yes,
coming up on your screen?
yes,
So
on
you
both.
you
Sorry,
recognize that?
if you see me looking down, I'm on my computer. I'm in YouTube, and then up here is my iPad used for the video conference. So
So do you
I'm
recognize
watching and seeing. Yeah, I recognize that person.
that? All
She's got a
right.
little bit of an attitude.
John Danyard, thank you for being a member for the Chaos Divers. What that does is it helps out every month. And we're going to be putting all of that membership fee, membership dues, or whatever you want to call them. The donations that you put towards that is going to go into a separate account towards a machine that we're going to start looking forward getting to. So, Depths of History, thank you for the $1.99 donation. That's awesome. Appreciate you. If you guys haven't checked out Depths of History, he's been doing a lot of good work in his area. When you, pretty sure that says when you're coming to Canada.
This summer.
This summer.
I don't know the dates exactly. The dates are not set in stone either way yet. A lot of it is my fault, so I'll apologize now. My work schedule is weird. I work sometimes rotating shift work, sometimes not. And Lindsay's trying to do a lot to make the schedule match where I can be up there for about a week. And with that time, with that, she's trying to align them being in New York on that week that I'm off so I can visit my grandmother as well while I go up there. So a lot of that is my fault. Um, we don't have a set in stone schedule yet because of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's so I can see my Nana. Everybody should go see their Nana.
So we're in Canada. We're going to stay at the lower portion. Lindsay had described everything in a prior live stream on where we're going initially and who we're looking for. So we're going to be sooner this.
Southern Ontario.
Yeah, there you go. When it gets time, we'll describe it even more and tell you where we're going. We are going to be heading at the end of April on our trip with Lee the Aqua Adventurer. Unfortunately, Eric won't be with us. You're not going to be with us in this trip, are you?
No, you're going the wrong direction for me to join.
Oh, that's right. Nana will love that. Eric, Linda, shoot. Linda, you're at the game. How you all getting connection?
Oh, so can I take a minute to put something else out?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I know in the last stream we did, people asked any updates about my cousin Sean. So for my family, yesterday was a rough day. Yesterday would have been Sean's 42nd birthday. So, in talking with some of my cousins and stuff, the family, we're working together. We're going to put together some sort of reward. I don't have all of the details out yet, so I don't want to put it all out, but we will be working with my cousins, Sean's siblings, and putting together some type of reward to help in the search for Sean. I don't, like I said, I don't have all the details. Lindsay, on top of all of the other things that she's doing, she's helping me with that. So we'll be getting that together and getting that put out there, just for information. Anything we can find to try to help locate Sean or find out what happened to Sean. Yeah. So
Can you
uh,
tell? So, with the people who don't know about Sean, can you uh, kind of just
uh,
go over a little bit with his name and first name and last name?
all right. So his name is Sean Zorio, Zorio. He is my cousin. I told you his birthday, his 42nd birthday was yesterday. I turned 42 in beginning of February. So we grew
Oh,
up in the same town.
I'm sorry. How did you spell that?
Zorio.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Um, we grew up in the same town, so with us being 5 weeks and 6 days apart, we were pretty much inseparable growing up. Um, as adults, I joined the Navy. We've kind of gone our separate ways. We still talk now and then. Last time I saw Sean, unfortunately, was when I was in California for his brother's funeral in March of 2023. Um, Sean has not been seen or heard from since July. I got to remember the date. I think it's July 7th of 2023. So, we worked with law enforcement and doing everything we can. We haven't gotten much information at all. There's a long story that goes with it that I just don't want to rehash all of it right now. Not to promote my channel, but if you are interested, I have a couple of live streams I did where we talk about everything we knew in detail.
Some of our the one of the mods will probably throw that link if somebody can go back and get that for me, please.
But either way, we're working on getting together a reward to try to get information, um, to see if we can figure out what happened with Sean. Just, yeah, yesterday was rough, but we had a text group with the family in the text group and sharing memories. It was good for all of us to, or I think it was good. My uncle, my uncle loved it as well. We were all just sharing memories of Sean and Joey. Joey is the 2 years older than Sean, and he's the one that passed away from heart failure at 42 years old, back in 2023. So it was just, the three of us spent a lot of time together growing up, and just sharing the memories helped at least. But
Yeah, I mean, scroll across the bottom. Oh, nice.
oh geez, Jacob's finding new toys.
Hey,
So
check this out. Oh, it didn't
um,
do it.
so the one thing I can say though is like, not that it brings any help, but when we do our searches and we're talking to the families as well, and like Lindsay knows my whole family. Obviously, we've been married for 22 years, going on 23. Um,
I commend you on
like,
that, by the way.
yeah, that's a feat all in it, all into itself. But when talking to the families, like I can relate to them, and I know, like, I want answers. I'm not naive to the fact that it's been 2 years with nothing. Um, I really hope Sean's doing well somewhere, but hope is one thing, and reality is often something completely different. But at this point, me and Lindsay were talking about it yesterday. I just want answers, just to know what happened, and hopefully, if foul play was involved, uh, justice for Sean. That's really all we can ask for at this point.
Do you want to talk about anything else on him? Um, on like how they can reach out to you.
Um, the easiest way is through ChaosDivers. Lindsay screens all of that, and it'll get to Jacob and or me, just depending on what it's about, or both of us. It doesn't really matter. We talk all the time. Um, I just don't want to. I don't have anything set up for it, like a direct line or anything, and I'm not going to put my phone number out for now.
All right. So Jeff's video, or Jeff dropped a link in the video. I promise you that if you click on that, it's going to go to Eric's video on. Was that the search or was that the live stream? That was the live. It's got to be the live stream. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What made you guys start doing what you do? How did it all start? Well, let's ask Eric that, and then I'll tell you my side.
You don't want my story. Um, so Lindsay had been doing land-based searches and running a land-based search team out of Southern Illinois, and they were working on a case that had water, so they brought in some diver. Who knows who that guy was? Some crazy diver. Um, and then we were doing we were doing a picnic, the whole land-based search team and families one day. It had been several months, and this diver shows up, and he thinks he's the greatest thing ever with his white sunglasses
I did have white sunglasses, didn't
and his gel spiked hair.
I? I don't spike my hair anymore.
But I'd never heard of it. Um, so then, as like learning about it more, I was like, wow, that's something really cool. And like prior to that, diving was something only like the rich people did on vacation in places that we can't afford to go. Um, so I didn't really know this world existed. But then I kind of just told Lindsay, I was like, hey, um, I knew Jacob was needing a second diver anyways. Just long story, don't need to get into it. But it's like, hey, why don't I just go get dive certified, and then when I can help out at least do something. So it was just something. Once I heard about it and knew what it was, it drew my attention, and so I went and bought all my dive equipment, got dive certified, and then the rest is history.
Um, I'm really glad to have Eric on the team. He's done a lot of good for us. especially when he helped recover little beaver when I was sick. Did I want to do that dive? No, there was ice. It was I would have done it, but I couldn't do it because I couldn't pressurize my ears or deep whatever um, equalize my ears. So Eric did the dive, did an amazing job. I screwed his eyes out by making his seals not perfect. So so then Mike ended up doing the dive afterwards, but all in all, it was teamwork, and we brought little beaver home.
Oh,
Um,
and that was the thing on that dive is like initially the plan was Mike was going to do the diving that day. But after we had located the vehicle and attached the magnet, me and Mike were talking on the shore and I could see him getting emotional because he knew little beaver. And he's just like he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I can deal with this. Like, and as soon as he said that, I'm like, you can't do this dive, Mike. Like there's ice flowing down the river. There's there's trees floating down the river. Like, no, you this is not a dive where like other things can be going through your mind at the same time.
yeah.
So that's when I said, no, Mike, you're not doing it. And told Jacob I was gonna have to do the dive and tried to hide it from Lindsay for as long as I could because it was the Mississippi River and she didn't want us to ever dive the Mississippi River. So she was not happy when she found out I was doing the dive. But then when I told her why, she may not have been happy, but she understood. Um, but I think any of us, any of us divers would have done the same thing in that situation. We have to look out for each other.
I couldn't.
You
I
couldn't
could.
because of sickness, but
I could, but I've been hurting. Um, so Corey Johnson's Random Adventures in here. He's always been a huge supporter since the very beginning. I consider him a very close friend.
hi, Lacey.
Jeff's in here. We got Sue Klein. Everybody's doing an amazing job keeping this chat room perfect. This is like a safe haven for people who just wants to come out and hang out. You don't have to worry about any discrimination. You don't have to worry about anybody bad mouthing because my people take care of it. And that's pretty awesome. And I love that. I love being able to get on here and not have to worry about the chat. There are times that I can't see the chat. So if you guys ask something, don't be afraid to ask it again. Just please don't flood the chat with the same question 5,000 times. I probably have seen it, but somebody was talking or I didn't want to interrupt. So thank you guys for always being super awesome. We've been on here for about 30 minutes, and I know I told you guys that it's a reward, which we talked about Sean. We still have the mail call to go. What else did I say on there? Oh, chat. So we're already doing 2 of the 3 things. So let's just hang out. I hope you
All
guys.
right, so I see a question here. How much does it cost for gear to just start out? Um, it really depends. You can get, I say relatively inexpensive. You can get a gear set for probably about $1,000 for a complete set. I did not go that route. Me and Lindsay talked about it beforehand, and we said, "Hey, this is essentially your life-saving equipment when you're underwater." I think my gear and class cost about $3,600 to start out. Now, my gear is well beyond just entry level. It's really, I have really good gear. We all actually have essentially the same gear. The only difference really is the regs, right, Jacob?
Yeah.
Um, so you can get gear to start out for $1,000, and I'm not saying that the gear won't be safe by any means. Um, what I did is I went with the gear recommended from Mermet Springs. So talking with Glenn down there at Mermet Springs, and this is the gear that he trusts, and he only sells one brand of gear because that's the gear that he trusts. And
So you
um,
have the Sherwoods. You have the Sherwood Maximus. You have the Sherwood SR22s. That's SR22. That's not right. The SR something.
I don't remember all the names for everything. I'm horrible with that.
Sherwoods. But yeah, once you get the equipment, if you do your yearly maintenance on it, your equipment's going to last you years and years and years. And the good thing about Mermet Springs is if something breaks, they'll replace it because they have a warranty. Thank you, Kevin, on that, McDonald, on that. If you guys haven't checked out Mermet Springs and you want to learn how to become a diver, mermetsprings.com is the place to go. You'll talk to Glenn. You'll talk to the nice people at Mermet Springs. I know there's Bonnie there. I'm not for sure what the other people are, what their names are down there. I can't remember, but they change every now and then. So I'm not for sure who's down there, but I do know Bonnie's down there. So talk to Bonnie. So Philip Cheel ask you a question, Eric.
Uh-oh. In layman's terms, right now I go to class. Right now I'm going to class I'm working towards becoming a licensed senior reactor operator. Um, and the senior reactor operators are the ones in the control room that are ultimately responsible for safe operation of the nuclear power plant. So nothing really goes on in the power plant without the senior reactor operator or SRO knowing about it and approving it first. And then whenever anything does go on, you lead the recovery actions, whatever that might be. I hope that's layman's terms enough.
Can I put it in layman's terms?
Sure.
When you, okay, think about it like this, and I'm not making fun of your job at all. Remember Bart Simpson and you got Homer, his job when you go in there and you see all the buttons and everything? That's his job. He's got a whole 5,000 buttons that you could really screw up the nuclear power plant. You got to know what you're doing. Did I do it?
Fair enough.
No, I mean, seriously. He's got a way better job than Homer Simpson. Like I was just trying to get you to know what this room looks like because I got to go in there and play with buttons. I didn't hit the red button.
Sometimes you need to hit the red button. It depends on what it's for.
I don't know what the heck I did, but I just seen a whole bunch of flashing lights and saying, basically, you're screwed. But that was in the what do you call it?
That was in the simulator. It wasn't the real plant. I didn't let Jacob in the real plant.
They wouldn't let me in the real plant. Years ago,
There's
I bought Jeremy a dive mask from Ocean. That mask kit cost me a little over $1,000 alone. Rick, I'm telling you, buddy, that stuff is not cheap. We would love to have a what is it, Guardian? Is that what it is? The OTS Guardians, but that was like $1,500 a piece, and
well, I think even our masks, which are not comms, they're not full face. We have regular masks. We all have the same brand, the same model. I think they're $200 a piece.
200 or 300, yeah, it's like 260 or something like that. Yeah, they're not cheap.
So, and I mean that 3,600 was my starting price, and then like yeah, I upgraded to a different mask afterwards because I like the way this one fits better and feels better, and I just need
It's
to get it to stop fogging.
It's all about peripheral view. So with some masks, you have this view. With the mask that we have this view. It just lets you see a lot better. I still have to turn to see the other diver if he's riding beside me, but if he's in front of me, I can see him on the side. So
Speaking of which, we need to get you a new strap for your mask.
they don't.
We broke one.
They don't make this like
That strap.
I don't know if I've got to turn it into the company or what, but I don't know what I don't know what's going on with mine. I know I try to get it replaced and like, well, we don't have a replacement mask strap for that one, so we'll have to figure it out.
There was another question up here. Jeff Heaslip asked a question. There it is. What's the suit made of? Neoprene. Yeah, they're essentially neoprene. I think ours are crushed neoprene. So it's crushed and it's pretty small. It's similar to a wetsuit, except the wetsuit isn't crushed. It's just neoprene, really. And then they're pretty durable too. Usually pretty cut resistant. The DUI suits do a pretty good job being cut resistant for the most part. I mean, you're not gonna take a razor blade across it, but just regular rocks aren't gonna cut it open.
There's a difference, and I can't tell you exactly the name of it, but yes, we do have crushed neoprene, but the other is for it doesn't allow any type of, it's like a rubber suit almost, for the protection suit. But the crushed neoprene, it's a lot easier to maneuver.
And then the follow up for that, Jeff, there's a dry suit and then wetsuits. And then there's semi dry, which I don't they function similar to a dry suit, but the dry suit is what's used for cold weather. As long as your seals are tight and you like if you got the dry gloves, your hands will stay dry, your whole body will stay dry, and you wear we call it what a bear suit, a woolly suit, big pajamas, a big thick wool pajama underneath it to keep you warm as well. And then wetsuits come in different ratings and different styles. So there's like 3 millimeter, 5 millimeter, and 7 millimeter. The higher the millimeter, the colder temperature it's rated for. But then they also have like the shorties, which you've seen, which is like short shirt, almost like a short sleeve t-shirt and shorts instead of full length wetsuit.
Olathe, I am not ignoring you. I see everything you're saying. And yes, there's sometimes where you do get a little out of control, but that's okay because it's fun. Also, I want you guys to know about there's not a lot of people who know about Ellsworth Curl. So Lacey and the rest of the girls, they have special needs. She doesn't know how to type, but that's her way of saying hello. And she'll start doing a whole bunch of letters. So the moderators, well, he's a moderator anyway, so you can't kick him. But that's what's going on. So thank you for that, Dominic. Hello, it's nice seeing you. Corey Johnson. Yes, I do remember that. That was absolutely dumb of what I did. Jumped in that water, and then somebody had to go give me some clothes because I literally I was diving in a collared shirt, Eric, that day,
You do some things that make me question you. This is
and
one of them.
and Nikes.
Oh
So
geez.
they would dress. They would have to dress out Shamu for me in a wetsuit. Alan, I'm a big guy. Oh, do you have that plate? I'm a big guy. Um, I have lost 25 pounds, so yay me. I am getting a little bit healthier and stuff like that, so that's good. Eric, how much have you got so far?
I'm right at 20 pounds again.
So sorry you
What other
had
questions?
sorry you had to witness that. Oh yeah. So again, I think Eric discussed this. You have your wool suit, but you also in your dry suit, your insulation is your air. So when you apply air to it, it insulates it and takes that material away from your skin. The bear suit helps, but it also takes away that off your skin so you're not so cold.
And it really boils down to water is much better at thermal conductivity, at transferring heat. So when the water's right on you, you feel it a lot more than air. So the air can stay warmer and it acts as a buffer. It doesn't transfer that heat or the cold from the water to your skin. So that's the principle of how a dry suit works.
Well, that didn't go the way I wanted it to.
What other questions do you guys have?
Your dive on YouTube. I don't want that one. There. Cool. All right. I'm hoping that we're answering everybody's questions. We have 133 people in here. I can't tell you how many likes is on here because I can't see it. But I can only imagine that it's in the hundreds. Am I right?
Oh, I don't know. I just had to add one. Bad me.
How is Turtle Boy? Turtle Boy's doing great. His name's not Turtle Boy anymore. It's Pacific. Is it the Pacific? No. Pacific Diving.
I'd have to check. I'm not sure.
Pacific Divers? Pacific Diving, I think. Would you please let your families know how much we appreciate them? Thank you for their selflessness and generosity by allowing to be your absence, search for lost family members, and sharing with the rest of us. Little easier for me. I am divorced. My kids know what I am doing to the fullest. They support everything. So when I'm home, I'm able to see them whenever I want. Like if I try to see them as much as I can. But yeah, mainly almost every weekend I could get at least one of them. She's a 17-year-old that's going to be hanging out with her friends. So, it's not cool to hang out with daddy anymore. But, most of the time I can get the kids whenever I want them. So it's awesome. I have 134 likes. See, I told you. Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, we got another question from Adventures with Robin C. Let you find it to put it up there. All right. So, most memorable moment with chaos. Does it have to include chaos? Because my most memorable, I'm not even going to share my most memorable because that's between me and a family member.
I'm stepping away.
So, most memorable with chaos. Ooh, there's so many. Like, what is the most memorable with chaos? My first dive with him,
No.
in
Yeah,
no,
okay.
no, no, my in the river,
Oh, okay.
um,
That's
when we
fine.
pulled out that Dodge Journey. I know the most memorable is a couple of weeks later when we tried to pull out that Cadillac. That whole day. So
That was miserable.
that day was so crazy because we started with we're just pulling a Cadillac. It shouldn't take 30 minutes. We'll have it done in 30 minutes. Jacob's famous last words. And then so this Cadillac, we end up ripping it to pieces before it finally comes out. I think it came out in what, 3 or 4 pieces? Um,
Probably.
and then so once we get the Cadillac out, now it's what? We actually started early that day, so it's only like noon, 1 o'clock maybe. And then we go
Yeah.
down the river searching for Charles Fluharty. And then we find like you can see it on sonar. It's like a parking lot of trucks underwater. I think there were 4 vehicles there in total, like lined up next to each other, like they're in a parking lot. So I dove on all of those. That was my first solo dive ever. That was the one where I came face to face with a catfish whose face was this wide, and I'm not exaggerating. And then just an hour later, we round the corner going to Yellow Creek, and Jacob, I said, "Hey, there's something right there." And it took us a while to get it on sonar. And I dove on it, and I got on the car, and then I got a little confused. Like I said, this was the first day that I'd ever solo dove. So I lost the car. I couldn't see anything, didn't know where it was. So I popped up and I just said to Jacob, Jacob, you have to dive this. This could be him. You have to dive this. And then so Jacob got ready and dove, and just seeing the relief on his face when he came up that we at least found Charles Fluharty.
Yeah, that was probably the most memorable.
And that's all one day. Like, I'm not even kidding you. That all of that was in one day.
Yeah, Tracy, we don't sleep. But yeah, we pulled a car. We dove on 3 different vehicles. You dove on Charles's car. And the problem with not, and I don't blame Eric for this because it was hard. It was super hard. You have what they call, oh shoot, what are those? It slipped my mind. The razor sharp clams. What are they called? Come on.
Zebra mussels.
You have the zebra mussels all on this car. You can't feel hardly anything. You had to dig underneath there. And as Eric was a new diver at the time, he wasn't like such a new diver where I didn't trust him. It was just in certain circumstances, the a little bit more advanced diver needed to be done or whatever. That's not the point. It's the point was it was shoved in the mud, but the zebra mussels had the license plate where it wasn't even, you literally had to sit there and scrape all the stuff off. And I finally found the license plate. It took me like 5 minutes to get it. And then when it came back up, I'm like, holy crap, it's him. I didn't know what to think. That whole day was just a blur, you know? So yeah, that's probably the most memorable. And then somebody asked, what was the, there was another question up here and I got to find it now. Memorable. I can't speak today. Oh, Lindsay's on the way. She should be here. That's what I was waiting on the open boxing. So she shouldn't be too long.
Oh, here's another question about the scariest moment you've had while diving.
That's what it was. Go ahead.
You go, I was gonna let you go first while I think about it.
Scariest moment. Man, I don't even know. I really haven't had that many scary moments.
I would say it was just for a brief second, maybe. I think we both dove on the car together somewhere in the Ohio River. I don't remember where, but there was the big tree branch that we had to go like under, and we had to like I don't know. I don't think of a lot of like scary moments when diving, but that one was a little weird because like I saw it and went under it, but then it caught like the regs and everything are sticking up off your back, and it catches, and then you just got to kind of wiggle and like get your way under it. But
Yeah, scary on that part. I don't really think startling wise it was probably the Ohio River when I was diving with Eric and we were removing one of the cars and somebody grabbed my leg. I didn't like that. That was
that
when
wasn't me though.
when you can't see. No, that's what I'm saying. Like that day when I was diving with you, pulling the car, is when that was not a good day at all. Because it just scared. Like if anybody says that they're not scared when they dive, they're full of crap. If you don't have a little bit of feeling like nervousness, then you need to stop diving. In my eyes, in my opinion, what do you think?
So I'm nervous before I start every dive. Before, as I'm getting prepared and getting into the water and everything else, and while I'm on the surface saying, love you, bye, and all of that, I'm extremely nervous. Usually, once I like, as soon as I get underwater, the nerves go away, and it just switches to like focus on the task at hand. This is what I got to do. Now you're cautious, and I'm careful of what I'm doing and what I'm seeing or feeling, but the nervous isn't the term I would use. I'm very aware of what's going on around me and trying to be as careful as I possibly can in any given situation.
The word for you. No, we weren't looking for barnacles. We were looking for um, what would you call them again? Zebra mussels.
Zebra mussels. Cooper, I'm with you. I don't like tornadoes. Those scare me.
not
Oh,
not
Lindsay,
scared. Oh, go ahead.
Lindsay just texted us on her scariest moment. Frog eggs. Um,
We
yeah, I don't know. It's you have a healthy respect for what you're about to do, and definitely every dive on the surface you're nervous because the conditions are different on every dive. But once I get underwater, I don't get very nervous. I think the most nervous I ever was underwater, we were diving with another group, and I was recovering an airbag and a drone that had fallen into the water that day. But that's just because there were so many divers there, and you don't want to say you can't do it. That was down in Texas.
That was a crazy day. So we dove on a car. Lindsay's first real dive. Couldn't see nothing. I put her hand on the car and I'm like, just go around the car. I know where you're at. I'll come back to you, whatnot. And then, I was trying to explain to her underwater, hey, we need to get a license plate or check the car. But she kept what she thought was mud and muck. She kept scraping them off. And I thought the same thing. So I'm scraping off all this mud. And then all of a sudden something came across my mask and it started looking like little balls, little clear balls going across my face. And I'm like, what the heck was that? And then I grabbed that, what I thought was clay, and I looked at it way up close. It was frog eggs. So when I got up on top, I told Lindsay what they were. And Eric was, why would you tell her? Sorry.
Um,
I didn't think
One
of
other question I saw from B, you don't have to put it up. Just she asked, "Are you ever afraid of running out of air?" We have the computers on our chest, and now we've got dive watches as well. I'm constantly checking my air to make sure I know what I went down with, how much I have, and so afraid of running out of air, yes, but we don't put ourselves in a situation where we're likely to run out of air either. Very often, Jacob is more risky with that than I am, but
sometimes we just don't fill our air up, and then we gotta do what we gotta do. Uh, so
also,
yeah,
I will say, as far as risky, Jacob's not going to do a 40-foot dive with only 1,200 pounds in his cylinder, which would be low air most of the time. I'm giving you a way out. Just stop.
yeah, we'll go with that.
If
Uh,
we're if we're only diving 10 feet down, the deeper you go, the more air you're going to use. So if we're only diving 10 feet down, it, even doing a full search of a car and being down there for 10, 12, 15 minutes, I'm only going to use 3, 4, 500 pounds of air max. Um,
Jerry Lee Hickman, how is the contest going? Are you getting a lot of entries? We are actually getting a lot of entries, but from the same people. There's 2 or 3 of them that are giving us some pretty good graphics on there. They are using a little bit of AI, which I'm not I want to kind of be a little bit more, not personable, but more unique. But yeah, we're getting a lot of entries. That is something. I do want to announce we are having a contest. If you guys haven't checked out ChaosDivers.com or put your entries in, I think it's ChaosDivers at iCloud.com. Put your entry in. We are doing a new shirt contest, basically stating, I put a post on YouTube and Facebook with all the links and stuff, but we're looking for new designs and shirts. So Corey did say something pretty good. I know, Eric knows, a lot of divers should know how it feels to be low on air. When you actually get trained, somebody should shut your tank off and let you feel what it feels like to be out of air, what it feels like to be low on air. And you start breathing really heavily. You start feeling Like, even however much you open up your regulator, you're still hard to breathe. And that's telling you that your cylinder is getting low. My detection on some of it is when I start floating, because I don't use the most adequate amount of weights to get down. So when my tank gets halfway, I start floating a little bit. So there's just different ways you can tell that your air is getting low without you looking at your computer. We do have new computers that Mark Richardson got us. Amazing. So in a controlled environment, yes.
And like Corey or like Cooper also said, we usually only dive. Most of our dives are only 20 feet, maybe 30 feet. So you're only in one atmosphere of pressure. Um, and as you say, aluminum tanks are extremely buoyant once you get to 500 psi and less. So even 500 psi, in school they teach you, you get 700, you're going to come to the surface. 500, you're not going to stay down very long anyways because you're starting to get really buoyant. Um, and you you can feel, even at 500 pounds, you can feel how much harder it is to get air. You have to actually work to breathe in air as you start to get lower in pressure. So it's time to go up.
Do we ever practice drills? No.
That's not true.
Well,
Every time we go to Mermet, we do practice our drills. Like
yeah,
even when we do our fun drives, we go
yeah.
down and you do the different drills for face clearing and all the different stuff. Um, so
Lindsay always has an eye on us on top side. She can tell if I'm mad. She can tell whenever I'm cussing underwater. She can tell when Eric is mad. Our breathing habits are a little different. Not saying he breathes better than I do or I breathe better than he does. She just knows who's underwater and where at. Just like Corey. I could tell Corey's not in distress at all because you see one bubble. 20 minutes later, you see another bubble. He has like the best breathing ever. I don't think he breathes when he dives. But you get to learn your divers. And we have the live scope pointed at the diver mostly all the time. So in a case of an accident or an incident, we can respond super quickly. I know Lindsay and I, did you take the rescue course yet, Eric?
yes,
All three of us are dive rescue certified. We all know CPR. We all know AED training. We do have oxygen on the boat. We do take those safety measures.
I kind of almost took it twice because I was a participant for Lindsay's safety course. But it was good to just see all the skills in action again and just refresh that as much as possible.
So we're all trained in this community of divers on YouTube. I'm not saying that mostly all the safety divers, unless you're so there's a lot of red tape. But in some cases, a lot of us prefer to dive alone. It's a lot easier. You don't have to mess with somebody else kicking your fin, kicking your face mask off, knocking your regulator out. There's a lot of things that we can get done quicker with one diver, get them in the water, get them out, and be done.
There's another question here I just had it from Rick. Have either of you ever gotten snagged underwater? Not seriously. We come across fishing line all the time. As you can imagine, most of these vehicles are somewhat near the shore. So they're we come across fishing line all the time. Just got to be careful. We have our dive knives with us. I get caught up in a little bit of fishing line, I'm just going to cut it and move on. But I've not snagged anything more than just some fishing line. Jacob, what about you?
I have had to come out of my BCD once, but I put it right back on. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't go up, but I did have not braid, but it was cord wrapped around my cylinder. So in that instance, I had to pop off, spin around, but still keep a hold of my BCD because that's where my weights are. And I basically bear hugged it behind me, cut the stuff that was on me, and slid back into my suit. In diving, in your instructor, if you have a good enough instructor, which they should teach you this It should teach you every scenario in rescue and in certain circumstances. There's a technique to get out of your suit or out of your BCD to self-recover yourself. And that's what
That's part of the
basically
basic dive course.
yeah.
So that was one of the checkouts that in my basic initial certification, I had to be able to get out of my BCD and back into my BCD underwater.
Carry 2 or 3 cutting devices. That's what they teach us. So I usually have a cutting device on my hip, my chest, and Eric carries his on his leg, and we need to get another one on your chest.
Yeah, we had the one, but it broke.
Yeah. Somebody asked me on here, do I have an AED on board? I don't know if you guys know how much an AED is, but no, we do not have an AED. We do have oxygen. We do have medical kits. We do have everything life-saving except for an AED. That is something that I can look into. We are all certified with the AED, but that is something I do not have.
No, Rick, we're just using the word incident. There's no report we have to write for any of that. Not for anything we've seen.
B, I'm not going to mess up your name. Good night, sweet dreams. Thank you so much for all your support. You have been here, and you come on whenever it's really late. So thank you. Kyle Smith has a question. I have a question. So if I have an air compressor that works, that goes up to 6,000 PSI with consolidated air filter, removes all vapors and waters, what's special about compression that fills divers' bottles? I'm pretty sure that's all you need is a separator. I'm not for sure about the Cascades, but I'm pretty sure that compressor with the oil vapors and the water with the filter, I'm pretty sure that's all you need. Plus, you got to have the attachments, but it's basically what you need for a Cascade system. It's something that separates that air, right? Am I right?
That's all I can think of. You got to make sure that it's just clean air, nothing else in it.
Yep. That's basically it on that. I do see Ringo. Ringo's in here. Hello, Kyle. Lindsay, have you checked on grants? You can get a grant for that. I don't know. I don't think so. Not right now. Terry Spitz, I see she's on here. She's been on here all day, the whole time. I'm a medical first responder for my local VFD. We use AEDs and bagging techniques. Yep. Dominique. Deb Watson. Awesome. Hello.
So that's so sad, Philip.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, I can understand putting another person in the water could further complicate the situation, but I don't know.
Cooper did say something on here that I want to announce. Okay. Yes. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm highly trained and I'm the best diver there ever is. I'm not going to say that. I will never say that. There's always a learning experience. I will not do something that I don't know how to do. I'm not going to throw on a full-faced, what do you call that? A hard hat diving.
Dive helmet.
Never been trained on that. I won't do it. Now, if I had an instructor there that could teach me beforehand what to expect, what not to expect, how to get out of it, how to do it, then I would probably do it under his control. I will not go out of my training if there's not a lot of stuff that I don't know how to do, diving in current, diving out of current, diving depths. But there are some stuff where I'm like, nope, if there's full sheets of ice, I've never been ice diving certified. So I'm not going to do it. Now, Eric, on the other hand, when he dove, he wasn't in solid ice. It was just kind of icebergs going down. So, and he's still okay in that aspect.
And that's the biggest thing is exactly what Cooper said. The last part of that sentence is the most important. We all work within our training and experience. So it's not the training gets you so far, and then the experience is another part. Like the story I told earlier, at that point, I didn't have the experience. I came up and told you, like, hey, you need to clear this. I wasn't able to do it. Now, since then, I've gained more experience, but at the same time, if I encounter something and I'm not comfortable with it, just like with the last dive I did, hey, I reached a point where like, okay, this is strong current. This is pushing me around. I've at least verified that the car color is not a right match. I'm getting out of here. Um, that's, I mean, that's our training. That's diving within yourself. That was a hard dive. I And when I came up, nobody said, "Oh, why didn't you do a full search?" No, we all okay. What happened? What did you see? Why did you come up when you did? Okay, understand. Move like that's it. Moving on.
Dive in your diving limits, basically. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to see if I got everything on here. What's the biggest vehicle you've ever lived on? Probably dove on. So Mermet Springs, I dove on a bus and I dove on
The airplane,
the airplane from what was that movie called?
U.S. Marshals.
Yeah, the U.S. Marshals. Um, that's pretty cool. So we've dove on a lot of things like that in real life, in the ocean or in the rivers and stuff. I would say probably a big SUV, like a Suburban. That's about it.
The big vans.
Yeah, the big vans. ABC's always be comfortable. Exactly. Mark Richardson. Speaking of the devil, how are you doing? We're going to talk about you here shortly. Will you ever see Doug Bishop back regularly diving? Doug is on his own. Doug is Doug. Doug is more than welcome on the boat any point in given time that he ever wants to be, but it's getting him there. He's doing his own thing. He's doing huge things. Love the man to death. He is more than welcome. We will be doing some more diving together in the future. He's just doing his own thing. He's over there in Oregon, just making things happen. I've dove with many other divers in my years, and the ChaosDivers is a solid group. I wouldn't dive with them if they are reckless. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. How old? What did that say? How old were you when you first dove?
39, 38 or 39.
5 years ago? 4 years ago?
About 3 or 4 years ago, I started diving.
So yeah. What is the waterway you least? What was the waterway you least like to dive?
Mississippi River.
Oh yeah, the Mississippi River is just super strong. I personally, I love diving the Ohio River, but not down here. Down
It's
here,
better up north.
better is up north. But yeah, it would probably be the Mississippi. The Mississippi's the scariest, I think.
So big and so strong. And
Olathe, there's a lot of weird things that we have found. I don't know.
that bed in Iowa.
Yeah, so not knocking any of our experience as sonar reading, but we did find a baby bed underneath the water. No, it wasn't a baby bed. It was a full size bed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It looked like a car. We were looking for a car that's been there for 50 years. We weren't going to let this go, and me and Eric dove on it. And we're like, what in the heck is this thing? And we finally figured it out. It was a bed structure that was used as a fish habitat.
We figured it out when we were underwater at opposite at foot and head of the bed looking at each other. But uh no, it really did look like we were looking for a car that'd been missing, what did we say, 40 years?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, because I was one when the car went missing. So it was about 38, 40 years that the car would have been missing. And it looked like it was a car with like rusted out holes in the roof. So that wasn't unexpected for what we were looking for. So we uh we weren't sure, so we dove.
Lindsay should be here in about 5-10 minutes. Um, so, Alan. Okay. This is funny because every place that we go to that's new and people talk to us, and I love talking to people. You can even ask Lindsay. Lindsay's not the most social bug, but I love talking to people. They all have the same story. Their grandpa was a diver and they were at the dam and they seen a catfish bigger than them that could eat them whole. I'm
And a
not saying
Volkswagen.
I'm not saying that they don't get big, because at the Mermet Springs there's a 200-pound catfish named Charlie. He is as friendly as can be. When he opens up his mouth, he can take my whole arm in. I'm not saying they can't get that big, and they probably are. We've never seen one. I've never seen one. It's kind of a myth. It's the same situation every dam we go to or every lake. Watch out, because there's big enough catfish to swallow them whole. They went down there. They'll never go back again because they seen this door opening and closing like a big Volkswagen. That's them eating. They're not, they're not going to like you. If they do eat you, you can get out, I guess. I just never seen something that big. The day I do, I'm still probably going to go down there. We'll probably put a hook in his mouth and take him out, because that's going to be a world record.
He will swim you all over the place.
So, have you ever dived with Wolf? Have you ever dived the Wolf River in Wisconsin? No.
There's one for the White River. What was that river in Arkansas? Wasn't it the White River?
Yeah. Yeah. So 3 years ago, I think it was 3 years ago, Corey and I met. First time we actually met was in Washington, and he was able to take. It was me, Sam, and Corey, and Kevin from what's Kevin's
Nomad.
Nomad Experience. We all went to the Puget Sounds, and that was the first kind of not realistic, but that was the first real ocean dive I did, and it's pretty neat. We got to see the wolf eels, we got to see GPOs, and it was a really nice time. And I appreciate Corey taking us out there and doing that. It's pretty good experience. Okay. Before Lindsay gets here, y'all had asked me a question way earlier. How did I get started diving? I was a coal miner, 12 years. This coal mining started declining. I had to get a way out. I was working on my YouTube. It wasn't going anywhere. I wanted to advance, and I always wanted to go scuba diving. So I got my scuba diving certificate. Started diving before the coal mines absolutely closed down. We knew it was coming. We actually had a date that it was closing. So I started working towards scuba diving, found trash under the water. And then we just started recovering vehicles. And from there, my YouTube channel started growing. I met Lindsay and Eric, then it started growing even more. I think it was mainly because of Lindsay getting me organized. And then this is how we started. So there you go. What is the coldest body of water you have dove?
33 degrees. And I felt every bit of it. Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah, you did. He's got me beat on the coldest. I think I've been in 40-degree water in a wetsuit. That wasn't fun. That was recovering Jeff Shepard, 40 or 50, something like that. It was still super cold.
So 33 was for Beaver, Little Beaver. That was with the ice flowing down the Mississippi.
Well,
And
hi.
then
2 minutes.
44 last week, or a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Where's Bug?
She stayed.
She stayed where? She rode the bus home. So Lindsay was speeding, and any cops want to give her a ticket. She was speeding.
I super was.
Hey, beautiful.
Right. I'm going to try to get her on screen too. I don't know how this is going to work. Let me do a little modification here. Let's scoot over, but I've got to make a little modifications on the clarity on this because it.
Olathe, no, that was the dive in Kentucky when he was working for recovering Jeff Shepard.
Hey, thanks, Garrett. Sorry. What was it? What? Huh?
They're asking about your coldest dive. Was it the Kansas City dive? I think you had said it was Jeff Shepard.
I'm going to mute my mic for a second so we can get everything situated. You can take over the live stream for right now.
All right. So Ellsworth, Carl, how many phones and cameras did you lose in the water? Phones, I don't think we've lost any. And we lost one camera in Kentucky. Oh, I'm all by myself. You get to see my kitchen. I think one in Kentucky. I don't think Lindsay lost another one. Phones, I've dropped my phone in the water at a dock and I had to dive to actually get it back. Luckily, I was able to find it. I think Lindsay did the same thing once too. It popped out of my pocket as I was stepping onto the boat in Oklahoma. And it was just deep enough where I put on dive gear just to dive and feel around and was able to find it. And it still works. Well, it doesn't. I got a new phone now, but it worked. Let's see. The Englishman flying over to work with Chaos, I believe that is going to be April. I don't know the exact, I think end of April, beginning of May. For those asking, the little Englishman, that's Lee, and I cannot remember his YouTube name. If Corey would post that, but it's going to be, I think it's about a week after Aqua Adventure. Thank you. I think he's coming out about a week after Easter, somewhere in that time frame, week or two after Easter. Let's see. I'm trying to catch these as we go. So, have ever really recovered from the theft in Georgia? Yes, for the most part. There's obviously the peace of mind and that comfort never really comes back once you've had your property stolen and a weapon stolen from your vehicle and everything else. But as far as the material things, I think at this point everything is back, not missing anything from this point. Yes, I am all by myself. They're getting me. Hey, beautiful.
He said hi.
No,
Hi.
I'm talking to Beauty and the Beast.
It's Beauty and the Beard.
Whatever, same difference.
What are you doing?
I'm playing.
Stop.
Yeah, thank you. You're finally here to control Jacob. What are you doing?
Quit touching buttons.
I've got to do this because it's focusing in on you. Oh, I know why. Okay. Portrait, center stage.
No.
Jacob lost. Did Jacob lose a phone on live?
Yes, he did. It's the portrait thing.
Why don't you use the ultra wide camera?
Well, no, like he just now realized that like all night long, every time he moves, it focuses and unfocuses. And so he just now realized that when I sat down.
Was trying to make this a little There we go. That better?
Hey Jacob, when will you put beads or bows in your beard?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I didn't know, Jacob, that there was a real live Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
He likes playing with buttons. I do. Okay.
He likes to push them.
Since Lindsay's here, I'm going to let her open up her present that she doesn't know anything about. From Mark Richardson. We're going to do the open boxing.
Should I be scared?
So we're gonna get into the open boxing portion since I was trying to save it for Lindsay when she got here. We do have the Amazon wish list, and that's what we're doing now.
There's glitter, so that's a good start.
There's a lot of glitter. Hold on,
That is an evil laugh.
I'm gonna take you off real quick, Eric. You can still talk, Eric.
Oh, okay.
I'll be nicer if you try being less stupid.
That's Lindsay.
It really is. I really am very mean.
I wonder why it's trying to focus and it's not.
That's exactly what you needed with that shirt.
Center stage has to be taken. Okay, so there we go. Now it's not focusing on one or the other. All right, cool.
Okay.
So yes, that was from. So on the bottom it says Mars Studio. So he is actually making shirts, and it's Mark. He's on. Should be still on here.
That's awesome.
Lindsay can answer this. That question.
Oh, we don't have any plans to come up there that yet, but
Everybody's been found
Eric
from that location,
missed
right?
it.
Pumpkin bread sounds amazing.
Yeah, the girls made Jacob and his dad pumpkin bread. I think it was like the year that I met you.
Yeah, they need to do that again. I said they weren't, but I'm going to say.
Oh, I did have some of that, didn't I?
I don't remember. Did you?
I think I had a slice of it.
Oh, you might have.
We've been on live for an hour and 27 minutes.
I was busy.
Blame her.
You can blame me. I don't care.
Okay, so the next.
Oh, that's why. There's tape and a whole drink underneath.
Oh, that was cold. Oh, was that behind me?
Yeah, it was like down in the cushion like this. I don't know how you didn't feel that.
Hey, Lindsay, you know what I learned right before this live started? The whole audience is going to hear this and learn. If you go to the gas station to get, like some C4s, it works better when you take your wallet.
Hey, 10 minutes, okay? And I forgot my wallet. So I had to put my PayPal card on my phone so I can use the Apple Pay with it.
Oh, goodness.
So thanks, y'all. Y'all bought me a C4 because I used my PayPal card.
Somebody asked, like, where do we locate your Amazon wish list? I think somebody posted it, but for future reference, our Amazon wish list is listed on our website at ChaosDivers.com, and it's also in the description of every single video. So if you ever can't find it, it's always going to be in those two places.
Do you like that? I like it.
Yeah. Can we focus?
No.
Okay. I'm glad that Eric got to spend this time with you.
It's a snacky box. I am snacky. These boxes actually come in handy. Did you say the thing was in here?
You know that you got water.
Oh, I do know.
You do. It just
Is it raining outside?
No, it's not.
Hey, Jacob, any alligator encounters while in the water?
Yeah. we had to deal with some alligators on the recovery. It was not fun. She told me to get out of the water, but she didn't tell me why. She just told me to get out of the water.
At least I won't.
Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was for Lamar.
Did you say the name wasn't here?
Yeah. Okay. So this came in an Amazon box, but the Amazon box was destroyed. So
Ginger S. So Ginger, I'm not supposed to say last names. I about did it. Ginger got us a snacky box. Now this snacky box comes in super handy. We can throw this box on the boat and we have little snacks just in case we get a little bit hungry, and it's actually coming pretty handy and the boys love it.
yeah, Colton and Britton, when they're with us, we always make sure we have that with us. And it's nice because even once it's empty, like we just throw more stuff in it and we just can leave it on the boat.
All right. Do not know what this is.
I don't either. It came to my house today. So we probably need to check it before we I'm pretty sure it's yours.
It's got lithium batteries in it. Lithium batteries.
I understand. I know, I told you that. You're gonna stab yourself. What the?
It's a drill bit.
You'll still find a way. All I'm having is flashbacks of like Eric and Jacob putting on that motor.
What is this?
Oh, that was bad.
That is mine. I mean, I bought it for us.
We're going to put these on the Amazon wish list too, because I think they're going to be pretty heavy. This is heavy. This is bigger, isn't it?
It's bigger. I think it's a little bit bigger than my last one.
It's a power bank. So with our little buddy, we're able to, we got a monitor. What? It doesn't open that. It does open that way. The power bank. These come in super handy to be able to use on our monitor that we have. So pretty awesome.
Hey,
Thank you.
Lindsay, did you see what Carrie said? I
No.
can't make it post it to the bottom, but
Took off the chat,
Huh? What?
oh,
Sorry.
so I can't.
My fault.
Don't see anything. So I don't.
What is it?
Carrie Skin Kiss. It's not very far up.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That's really sweet. Thank you. I think 50 so far. So I don't like to talk about it because it doesn't. I don't see a difference. But thank you very much. Really, thank you.
B came back from being asleep to say hi to you.
I love her.
Do you have any solar panels for the RV and or boat? No.
Yes. Terry got you some.
That's right, for the boat. Yep. I forgot
And
about
Corey, no, he could not hurt himself in a padded room. He absolutely would hurt himself in a padded room.
Okay. Enough about that. I have some power banks if you want. Also, thank you, Terry. Deb. I can't say your last name because Lindsay don't let me anymore.
Well, Mom and Deb's in here. Or what?
All right. I've lost three of our Brute magnetic magnets. They are super great, but I've lost 3 of them or 4.
More than that in total.
And
We're down to one big one and one that little one.
Yeah.
The other one we have on the boat is broken, and then we have a homemade one that somebody from Will Beaver's family made us, Eric. That long cylindrical one. Thank you, bread maker.
With that, I put on the Amazon wish list, the grab cards in current. This is actually super heavy. It's not like the other one that we had, but these are going to come in handy. Deb Watson got these for us. Pretty sure you just spin this, and then they open, and then you spin it and close it. But this will catch onto a car better, and we'll be able to do it in current and get this off a little easier. And if we do lose these, it's not as bad as it would be for a $150 magnet. So that's awesome. Thank you on that, Deb.
Are they both the same thing, or is one a magnet?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet.
Bewitched Munster. Yes, Lindsay does all the backing up. That's how the boat gets in the water straight.
Yes, it's the same thing. So awesome. We have two of these that we can grab a hold of the cars. Bread maker. Thank you so much. I know she already said thank you.
I think it comes with the rope too and everything.
It also comes with the rope, 50 foot of rope with a clevis.
We need to restring
Awesome.
our bags. So
Awesome. Thank you, Deb. Pretty much it for that, isn't it?
I think that's all I gave you this week. I think so. Oh, the other thing we got was the monitor. That was the other thing I brought over.
Oh, you brought it over and just didn't bring it in?
Into my truck. I mean, the box is in here, but the monitor's still in the truck,
So
attached to
with the Amazon wish list gift cards, we did need to get a monitor for the little buddy to get extra range. So I did purchase, with you guys helping, the monitor. Put it in front of your face. Put it in front of my face too.
You did that with the snacky box too.
So we did get a 15-inch monitor, portable monitor, and that's what we run those little portable power banks with. So we actually tested it out yesterday, went to North City and checked it out, and it works well.
And Olathe, he might be able to get it straight. It would just take like 30 times the going forward and backwards and then forward and backwards and then forward and backwards.
I know how to back up a deck-home trailer.
Lindsay does it one try.
Chris Amos said, "I need that shirt, Lindsay." You
Awesome.
You can get it through.
Does Mark have a website?
I don't know if he has a website yet.
We can find out if he does.
Mark Richardson, if you will, he should be still on here.
I know I saw him earlier. It's like the glitter. Oh, the glitter.
I'm pretty sure you're going to wear that, aren't you? No, you don't. I've seen you try. Whatever. Anyway, regardless, I can get the boat in the water, even if it's not straight.
Oh. So how'd Buggy do tonight?
Buggy did excellent. She's doing really good with her serves, but then like third or fourth serve, she's just like short tossing herself. But she's doing really good. The girls did end up playing 3 sets tonight.
Again?
They did lose. They fought hard, but unfortunately, it just wasn't their night.
Yeah, Lacey said be nicer to her, Jacob. Whatever, Corey.
I have that shirt. Susie actually wore it last week in the live stream. It says, "I'm not mean, I'm spicy nice."
Other than that, guys, we are done with our open boxing. So I talked about the reward for Sean. We talked about the dive for Belva. We also spoke about just odd and end stuff. Anybody had questions? Did the open boxing. Now all we need to do is talk about Aqua Adventure coming to the April trip and what that's going to consist of. In the next week, I am going to start a GoFundMe to get that process started beforehand, so we're not struggling and trying to do this trip on our own, because we definitely need your help on this trip. It's going to be quick, but it's going to be long, and
quick, fast, and in a hurry.
It's definitely going to be something that's, you know.
Oh, it's my mother.
So you want to talk about a little bit about where we're going in April?
We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. I'm one of those people where if something is said and it relates to song lyrics, I'm going to belt out those song lyrics. I can't help it. That's just the way my brain works. So we are heading out on our trip in April. We pick up Lee from the airport on April 23rd, and as soon as we pick him up, we come back here to my house or Jacob's house, load up in the RV, and we hit the road. Our first stop is Call Lake, where we'll be searching for plum bananas. We went and searched for plum bananas once before. That is a boat, but it's got a very, very big family history, and it kind of, it brought a family together, and that touched all of us. So Eric, Jacob, and I, while it's not something we would normally do, we had to. So we'll be going back to search for that, Call Lake, Oklahoma. From there, we head down to Muskogee to search for Larry Don Bell. After that, we will be heading to this Fort Smith area. Like, we'll be working in Oklahoma and in Arkansas. We'll be on the borders there. We have the case of Stephen Adams, and then the most recent case of Justin Baker in that area. So we'll be looking for both of those gentlemen, along with, there are several other people missing that where we're searching puts us in a position to find quite a few.
Is there anything else that you're missing out?
No, I don't need that. I got this.
Okay.
From there, after we leave Fort Smith, we're actually going to be, we're leaving Fort Smith for one night to run Lee down because Lee has to head out on May 2nd. So we'll be leaving Fort Smith for one night, heading down to Little Rock, dropping Lee off, and then coming right back to Fort Smith to finish our searching, if it's not done by then. After that, then we do head back to Little Rock for a search there. We have Terkessa Wallace and Patrice Smith. Both of them have been missing for a few years. Two separate cases. One's out of North Little Rock. One's out of Little Rock. For anybody who's familiar with that area, North Little Rock is literally just one side of the river, and Little Rock's on the other side. So we'll be focusing on the Arkansas River there again. We have searched in that area before for other cases, but we're going to be going farther up the river this time. After that, we will be making one quick dip down to Monticello, Arkansas to meet up with SEAARK, just kind of discuss where we're at right now, where everybody's expectations are, and to discuss future plans. From there, we will head up to Jonesboro, Arkansas to continue searching for Miguel Rivera, should he not be found by the time that we get up there. After that, we finish up with a case in Howardville, Missouri. Howardville, New Madrid. I say New Madrid. I think it's New Madrid or New Madrid.
It's Madrid.
We'll be doing that case for Barbara Stauffer, and then we'll be home in time to see Alexia graduate high school. Jacob is old.
Graduate.
Lindsay, your kid's 21.
Jacob is old.
Lindsay?
Listen, Jacob is still older than me. Hi, girls.
Okay. I don't think there's really anything else that we have to chat about. She talked about what we're going to be doing next month. It's really going to be a time crunch. I really want to spend as much time and learn as much as I can off of Lee, and Lee's going to do the same with us. Hopefully we can show him a little bit more knowledge on the sonar and just spend time with him. So
yeah, super excited for Lee to come over. Again, like literally we pick him up from the airport, we throw him and his stuff in the RV, and we hit the road. We are looking at a couple of not new cases. Well, one is a new case, and then one is an old case. Both of those are, one's in Arkansas and one is in Missouri. So we're looking at those cases as well, possibly adding those to this schedule, time pending. But for right now, those are our set cases. We do have our cases set for our July, August, September Canadian trip. I know a lot of people are asking, like, where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? I know where we're going to be. I know who we're searching for. I just don't know when. And all of that is dependent on Eric's schedule. I have a schedule set right now, but Eric's schedule, there's a possibility that it could change. And we're making sure that Eric can be with us while we are in New York. So Eric has the opportunity to meet Jen and search for her grandfather Guy, as well as seeing his Nana. So we want to make sure
See, chat, I'm not a liar. I told them that.
What?
I told them that.
He's already went over the Canada trip.
Oh, he told them where we're searching, where we're going to be?
No, but I told them why the schedule's not out yet. It's all my fault because Lindsay's making it so I can go see my Nana.
Yeah. So I do know that we're going to be in Quebec and Ontario. That part I can tell you. We're going to be in Ohio, New York, Quebec, Ontario, and Michigan, and then home. So that's where we're going to be. But again, we got to get through this trip. And then by the time we're home from this trip, Eric should know his schedule, and then we can get everything nailed down.
You wouldn't have been late.
Exactly, Stephen.
Oh, I had more important things. Just kidding. I mean, ChaosDivers is important, but family always comes first.
Guys, always remember that everything you do for us, your support means everything. It's pretty awesome, you guys. If I need help, you guys are there. That was shown in one small town of Pocahontas? No. Where was that town at?
We were stuck in Corning, Arkansas.
Corning, Arkansas. People in Corning.
Pocahontas.
They're in
10 miles.
Pocahontas,
10 miles away.
but not the right one.
Corning. We drove from Corning to Pocahontas. And it took us about 20 minutes to get there. So yeah. Got confused. My bad.
We'll let that one go.
Okay. Other than that, if you guys haven't checked out Ryder Dive, check them out. Check out Corey from Corey's Amputee Lifestyle. And then check out Aqua Adventurer.
Did you talk about Hammerhead?
Not at all.
Okay, good job.
That's who I was forgetting. You want to talk about him?
So we had talked about getting the sonars and everything updated. Well, we were at the boat show, or the boat fishing and boat show, or I forget what it is. In Knoxville.
He said Tennessee Fishing and Boat Show.
Fishing and Boat Show. We were there representing SEAARK for everything that they've done for us. So we wanted to show them support. But we met this really great company. They're called Hammerhead Sonar. They're out of Winchester, Tennessee. And what they do is they basically help you rig your boat to be the most effective for you and what you're doing. They help you wire your sonars. They help you, keep everything updated. They sync everything. They'll install everything. I mean, really, really great company. So we had hooked up with them, exchanged information. Our sonars, we had some glitches, as in we had updated them, but there was some software issues where it was saying that the sonar took, or the update took, but it actually didn't. So we went up, Jacob and I drove the boat and the little buddy over to Winchester, Tennessee, Tuesday, this past week. We knew it was going to take a minute. We were okay with that. We knew that was going to happen. And then we ended up spending 6 hours with them. They updated every single one of our sonars, all 4 of them. They updated our trolling motor. They synced everything so everything works together seamlessly. And they also did the same for the little buddy, updated it. I want to say, like, most of our sonars were only like 1 update behind, but our original live scope that we bought 3 or 4 years ago, was like 15 updates behind. I don't know if you guys know much about updating a sonar, but you have to update one update at a time. So like if it's on 12 and now update 20 is out, you can't just put in update 20. You have to do 12 and 13 and then 14 and then 15. So they spent all of this time doing all of this for us. And then they also have this thing called the visualizer. It's basically like this booster, like I think a DC transfer or something like that you put on your battery and you attach it to your live scope, and it clears up your live scope at a further distance. So right now you can get about like very clearly on just a regular live scope, not the XR, you can get like 50 feet, like super clear, and then 60s where it starts to get fuzzy, right? With this visualizer, it clears it up past 60 feet. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. They have given us one of theirs to test out. They said, put it on the boat, try it out. We'd love to see how it works. You know, they're letting us borrow that as well. I believe it's just under $200, this visualizer that they are letting us borrow. We went to finish our day with them. We went to take care of, you know, all of the payment because they, like I said, they spent 6 hours working on our stuff. They were on the phone with Garmin. They were on the phone with Humminbird. They were the trolling motor. They had to take an old account off of it and unsync all of that and then put all of our, I mean, what they did was not an easy task. And when it was time to square up with everything, they said, you guys are good to go. Have a great day. Come back and see us. And we were like, what? I was fully anticipating every bit of $400 to $600 for everything that they did. And they said, no, you know, we love what you guys do. We loved spending this time with you guys. You know, this is on us. So huge shout out to Hammerhead for everything that they did for us. I do believe that they have a website. It's Hammerhead Sonar. They are on Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, and they do have a YouTube channel that they're starting to build. So again, we can't thank them enough for everything they did for us. For them to do that and spend all that time with us. But it was really great just to get to know them. And we got to exchange a lot of stuff. They taught us that, one, our boat is smarter than we realized. There's an app for our whole entire battery power bank in the back. So I have this app on my phone now that I can just look and be like, oh, we don't need to charge the boat tonight. It's good. Like,
I did it. Fine.
So we were able to, I have on the same exact outfit. That's fantastic. So we were able to learn a lot about the boat, learn a lot about like managing the capabilities of of the sonars, the trolling motor, and again, just little things. They taught us, or they showed Jacob and I kind of deep into the settings. There's this whole other option to make our mapping system a lot more concise. Like right now, you can look at the map and be like, all right, this area right here is, 0 to 10 feet. Well, you can actually go deep into the settings and find this layering option, and it will actually say, this part is 10 foot. This is 9, 8, 7, 6. Like, I mean, it dials it in so much. So we got the opportunity to learn a lot from them. I think they got to learn some things from us. All in all, I think it was a fantastic day. Definitely will be going back.
Real good people.
For sure. Yeah. And again, just for everything that they did for us. I mean, we can't thank them enough. And to spend the day with Brent and Colby and again, just learning from each other is always an awesome experience.
We have a question here that I didn't notice here.
Unicamaro. So there's all kinds of different. Like there's Charlie Project. There's Namus. If you go into Namus, you can actually go into the advanced search and scroll down, and it'll say vehicle, and then you can put like, I want to look for missing people whose car is from the year, like I put like 1970 to 2025, and it'll narrow down every case that has a car. There's also Map the Missing. All of the cases that are listed on there are vehicle or are cases missing with their vehicle.
Sorry, I had to move so they didn't think I was a mannequin anymore. No, I was just quiet because once Lindsay's talking, you don't interrupt her. That's the way to get on the naughty list.
Jacob does that all the time.
So this whole time while she was talking, in which I'm surprised she didn't smack the crap out of me because I was clicking all kinds of buttons.
You were pushing my button.
I wanted to bring up the picture of the guys from Hammerhead Shark, Hammerhead Sonar.
Hammerhead Shark.
So I was trying, and finally I figured it out. This new program that we're viewing you guys on StreamYard, it's a little expensive. I think it was around $44. It was $25, and now they raised the prices up since I last used it. But I think if you guys are satisfied with this and like this kind of content with bringing in Eric, and I know we're going to bring in Aqua Venturer next week. If you guys want us to keep this, we're gonna go ahead and do that. I think what's your guys' opinion on it? I am happy that we can bring up some questions and stuff. Do you guys like it or not? It's great. It's great. Hammerhead Sonar.
Baby Shark.
I just saw the winner of the America's Best Beer Championship on TV. I know I won. I'm sorry.
Do you know that it takes Jacob longer to get ready in the morning than it does Lindsay because he's got to blow dry his beard?
If I don't, my beard is all like that up here, and it's annoying.
It's all like what?
It's all like it looks good. Okay. Just making sure, I do like the fact that we can scroll like Eric's Ryder Dive on YouTube and the information out. I think it's pretty good. What do you think? You like it?
Yeah. I don't like when we do live at the same time on both channels for it, or both platforms, because then you can't see the chat for the Facebook. You can only see like one of the chats.
Okay, awesome.
See, what you need to do. Oh, we can talk off this. We don't need to explain that on this. But you say you need to have Lindsay set it up and controlling the chat and everything, not on the phone or the device that you're using for video.
What do you mean?
Like you log in on one device and then you can invite you and invite me, or invite you and invite Lee. So then you two are just like guests in there, but a different device, so you're not reaching forward to hit all the keys.
Oh, you're talking about having her as the
moderator,
like the studio producer. You want to do that? No, heck no. She talks better than I do.
Take control away from Jacob. He likes playing with buttons.
Yeah, I know. Lee's in here now.
I think Jacob's beard needs red, white, and blue in July. Lee from the Aqua Venturer. What's going on? Yep. So I'm going to get my beard braided. Put some braids in my beard.
You need to do 3 big braids. 1 red, 1 white, 1 blue.
There you go. Okay. So, yeah. Other than that, you guys see the Aqua Venturers in here? Check him out. I know I almost said heck no. Okay. Guys, I'm pretty sure we've been on here for 2 hours. We've held 120 people in here hostage for this long. Thank you.
Ridiculous.
It is. I don't understand the support y'all give us. I appreciate the support y'all give us. We're going to be doing this every Thursday. We're going to try. And we're going to have the Aqua Adventure on next week.
Nope.
The week after?
Yep.
The week after. 2 weeks from now, we're going to have the Aqua Adventure on.
You told them about next week.
I did tell them next week on accident.
No, I'm telling you, you told them what you're doing next week.
What am I doing next week?
So next week we're going to do our live stream, and then we're actually going to be guests on the Quarter Hoarders live stream. So next Thursday,
I didn't tell them that yet.
that's what I just asked you, and you said no. So I'm telling them.
Okay.
Then you tell them.
No, you go ahead.
No,
No,
you
you know
go
you're
ahead.
good. You made it sound better.
So next Thursday, we're going to do our live stream. We're going to try to start it a little bit earlier, and then we're going to be guests on the Quarter Hoarder. He does metal detecting, correct?
Mhm.
And so we're going to visit with him and just talk about, because he and Jacob have known each other for a long time.
Me and Quarter Hoarder, basically, whenever I was Chaos Paddlers, he knew who I was. I did his logo, and super close friend of mine, and he invited us to the show.
Yeah, so he just wants to kind of introduce us to his viewership and what we do, and how we do it. And we're hoping that you guys will follow from our live stream over to that one to get to know him and his channel a little better, and get to spend some more time with us. So
We're basically going to frog leap. We're going to be on for about 30 minutes on the channel here, and then we're going to go over to I was going to say Aqua Adventurer.
no.
The Quarter Hoarder.
So next week,
His name's Jason. He's a good guy.
next week we'll be with Quarter Hoarder shortly after, and then the week following, which I believe should be the 27th, if I can do my math and my dates right, we'll be back here normal time, and then that's when we'll have Lee with us, because Lee will be coming about 4 weeks after that. So just we want you guys who don't know who Lee the Aqua Adventurer is, we want you guys to have the opportunity to meet him, spend some time, ask some questions of him, and also get to listen to his accent.
I think it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know what Eric. What's your thoughts about it, Eric?
Oh,
I
Eric's
know
mad
nothing. I'm mad.
that you go home and then Lee comes and you don't get to meet him.
Oh, I'm very mad about that. I want to meet Lee. Like, I so want to hang out with Lee. That's like, Lee's Irish. That would be awesome to hang out with him.
And then when we're on the road, we've tried to keep these live streams like 6:30 ish. And we're gonna what?
You're such a liar.
Go ahead. Sorry. I had to sneeze.
Oh yeah, you had to see. Now when we're on the road, the times are going to be scattered. There may be some times we're on, Thursday, instead of doing like a Thursday night live and checking in with everyone, we may, do a live search during the day, just pending on. So when we're on the road from April to May, it may be a little different times and things like that, but sneeze again. I dare you.
If I do have to sneeze, I'm going to be upset.
We're going to fix that.
I don't know what else to say. I think we've covered everything pretty well.
We talked about the trip. We did the unboxing.
We've
our
answered questions all through the
upcoming-
night.
Yeah, our upcoming live schedule. And you guys talked about Belva. We've talked about we're putting Miguel on our schedule for April.
Ooh, question for you, Lindsay. This came up earlier in the show. I want to hear your response. What is your most memorable moment with ChaosDivers?
When we get home. Most memorable moment. I would probably have to agree with both of you, but probably for a different reason. It's probably when that first time that Jacob came up with plates in his hand. It was this like, sense of relief that like, you know, we were able to provide these answers for this family, but more so that all of the times that like I convinced and begged and pleaded Jacob to not throw in the towel, all the times I was like, no, you can do this. You can do this. Like, this is what you were meant for. You can do this. Like, to be able to see that come to fruition, to be able to kind of see that he got to realize that he was capable of doing this, and this is where he's supposed to be, and this is what he's supposed to be doing. So it's kind of this culmination of all of these feelings of one, see, I told you so, right? Like, but just him getting to realize like this is what he's supposed to be doing, and that first, you know, that first time of providing those answers for a family, and then every time since then, every time, you know, he comes up with plates in his hand, and it's the one, Lamar Green, he couldn't even see down there. He came up with the plates in his hand, and they were facing me, and I saw them first, and like just knowing without having to say anything, like, you know, we were just given the honor of doing this again for another family. So I think it's just that, like, every time we're able to find somebody, and it just kind of cementing that that idea in Jacob's head that like, yes, you're where you're supposed to be, and you're doing what you're supposed to do.
I still remember your reaction up on the shore.
I was on shore when Jacob came up, and I remember we were there with Greg, and like Greg and I, he was the original detective on Charles' case, and like Greg and I were like being like, what? Say it again, you know, and like Greg and I just being like, oh my gosh, and you know, and Greg's wife was up there with us, and getting to experience that with them as well. So it was really incredible.
For all you guys who are wondering how you can help, I do see Sue has put up a whole bunch of stuff. Most of the things that we need has been bought for us, purchased for us. There is a select few things, but it's mostly gas getting in these places. That's our biggest expense now. I do know that we've got a lot of food coverage. It's like the gas cards or the what do you call them, Visa prepaid cards on the Amazon wish list. If you guys want to go that route, we can use those. And then just donations through ChaosDivers.com for gas. That's it. You got a wrench that can't ground you too long. Olathe, you're all right. You're good. I guess I could take your wrench, but you got it. Hammerhead Sonar. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so pretty much everything's covered. Is there anything else you need to talk about, Lindsay?
I don't think so. I think that's everything. I'm just glad that Eric got to spend all his quality time with you.
Notice how smooth it went, flawlessly executed.
Yeah, what the heck? And then I show up and you're like, oh.
What is it? No, what? What did you say?
I show up and then you're like, oh.
Yeah. I've got to get my dog some pup cups. It's part of their nightly routine. They won't let me forget. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Uni Camaro.
I was just about to call for Rooster. He's not here.
No, he's not.
Where's Rooster's at the house?
Yeah.
Oh.
Garrett chased him all the way down the driveway today.
Oh, jeez.
I do like letters. I do like talking or reading what people have to say and stuff like that. It's pretty nice to have a package being delivered to the P.O. box. I do pay for the P.O. box, so use it. Appreciate it. Anything you guys want to talk, say, or whatever. Chaos Squirrel, Chaos Squirrel, Chaos Squirrel. Kyle, we don't know about that yet. We're going to try to figure out something on that. Gas will be really expensive in Canada. All right. Pretty much it. Love each and
That's
every.
about what happened.
Lindsay showed up and I started trolling Jacob. Like and share Chaos Divers content. It's free. Yeah, like and share. That's basically how you guys can help. Mark, you need Mark. He had a question. You had a question for, because he has a website.
Oh yeah, if you have a website where you're doing your t-shirts or anything that we can put out for you, please let us know.
Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed this long live stream.
It's not my fault.
And if you guys haven't checked out Ryder Dive, please check them out. Y'all have a good night. Keep diving. It's not where to stop. Appreciate each and every one of you for your support.
Love you. Bye.
Embrace the chaos.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Set a natural video. I don't want to do that in stream.